On April 12, 2025, the Kaseya Center in Miami will host UFC 314, where the co-main event promises an electrifying clash between the 7th-ranked lightweight Michael Chandler and the 12th-ranked Paddy Pimblett. This 5-round battle is more than a fight. It's a pivotal moment for both men, each with distinct motivations, styles, and stakes. Chandler, a veteran warrior aiming to reclaim his place among the elite, faces Pimblett, a rising star eager to cement his name in the lightweight division's upper echelon. With contrasting journeys and undeniable star power, this matchup is poised to deliver chaos, heart, and unforgettable drama inside the Octagon. Michael Chandler, the veteran's last stand. Michael Chandler, known as Iron Mike, is a name synonymous with unrelenting aggression and heart-stopping performances. At 39 years old, the former Bellator champion and UFC title challenger carries a legacy built on wars against the lightweight division's fiercest competitors. His resume reads like a who's who of MMA greatness: Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, and former champion Charles Oliveira. His 2021 fight against Gaethje at Madison Square Garden remains a benchmark for lightweight violence, a 3-round slugfest that left fans in awe. Yet, Chandler's UFC record, a modest 2 wins against 5 losses, tells only part of the story. His victories over Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson were emphatic, but losses to top-tier opponents have kept him just shy of the title. Chandler's recent years have been defined by a prolonged wait for a blockbuster fight against Conor McGregor, a pursuit that consumed over 2 years of his career. The hiatus allowed him to heal from the physical toll of his battles, but also left him hungry to prove he remains a force. "I don't want to be the guy who waited for McGregor," Chandler said in a recent interview. "I want to be remembered as the warrior who took on the best, no matter the odds." With his last win dating back to May 2022, Chandler knows time is not on his side. A loss to Pimblett could jeopardize his future in the UFC, making this fight a do-or-die moment. Chandler's fighting style is a blend of explosive athleticism, world-class wrestling, and a willingness to trade blows in the pocket. His durability and power make him a threat to anyone, but his tendency to absorb damage has been a double-edged sword. Against Pimblett, Chandler will likely look to impose his pace, using his wrestling to control the fight or land devastating strikes and scrambles. "I'm stepping into that cage to remind the world why I'm one of the most exciting fighters in MMA," Chandler declared. "Paddy's a star, but I'm here to show him what it takes to hang with the elite." Paddy Pimblett, the charismatic contender. Paddy, the Baddy Pimblett, is the embodiment of charisma and chaos. Since joining the UFC in September 2021, the 30-year-old Scouser has captivated fans with his brash personality, relentless fighting style, and meteoric rise. With a 6-fight winning streak, Pimblett has navigated a carefully curated path through the lightweight division, facing increasingly tougher opponents. His debut knockout of Luigi Vendramini announced his arrival, while subsequent wins over Rodrigo Vargas, Jordan Levitt, and a controversial decision against Jared Gordon solidified his place in the UFC. More recently, Pimblett's submission of Bobby Green and decision over Tony Ferguson showcased his growth, silencing critics who questioned his readiness for the elite. Pimblett's appeal extends far beyond the Octagon. A devoted family man with a supportive wife and 2 children, he's built a thriving brand through his YouTube channel, sponsorships, and larger-than-life persona. His dramatic weight fluctuations, strict dieting before fights followed by indulgent off-seasons, have become a meme, endearing him to fans while amplifying his marketability. "I love food, and I'm not ashamed of it," Pimblett said with a grin. "It's part of who I am, and the fans love it." His ability to connect with audiences, combined with his in-cage success, has made him one of the UFC's biggest draws, alongside names like Sean O'Malley and Conor McGregor. Inside the cage, Pimblett's style is a whirlwind of unpredictability. A Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, he excels on the ground, with a knack for snatching submissions from seemingly impossible positions. His striking, while unpolished at times, carries surprising power, as evidenced by his knockouts. Critics point to his controversial win over Gordon as a blemish, but Pimblett's ability to rebound with statement victories over Ferguson and Green proves his resilience. "I'm not here to be perfect," Pimblett said. "I'm here to win, entertain, and climb the ranks." Chandler's a legend, but I'm ready to take his spot. The stakes: legacy versus ascension. This fight is a classic clash of eras. For Chandler, it's about legacy and redemption. A win over Pimblett would catapult him back into title contention, proving he can still compete with the division's best. A loss, however, could mark the beginning of the end, relegating him to gatekeeper status. Chandler's desperation is palpable. He's fighting not just for a paycheck, but for his place in MMA history. "I've faced the best in the world," Chandler said. "Paddy's talented, but he hasn't been in the deep waters I've swam. I'm going to show him what it's like." For Pimblett, the fight is a golden opportunity to break into the lightweight elite. A victory over a name like Chandler would silence doubters and position him for matchups against top 5 contenders like Islam Makhachev or Justin Gaethje. At 30, Pimblett is in his prime, with the confidence of a man who believes the universe is on his side. "This is my moment," Pimblett said. "I fought everyone at UFC's put in front of me, and I've found a way to win. Chandler's a tough test, but I'm ready to prove I belong at the top." The matchup: chaos meets grit. Stylistically, this fight is a recipe for fireworks. Chandler's aggressive, high-pressure approach will test Pimblett's durability and composure. If Chandler can dictate the pace and land his heavy shots, he could overwhelm the younger fighter. His wrestling pedigree, honed as a Division I All-American, gives him an edge in controlling the fight's position, potentially neutralizing Pimblett's ground game. However, Chandler's willingness to brawl leaves him vulnerable to counters, especially against a submission artist like Pimblett. Pimblett, on the other hand, thrives in chaos. His ability to stay calm under pressure and capitalize on opponents' mistakes makes him dangerous. If he can weather Chandler's early storm and drag the fight to the later rounds, his superior conditioning and grappling could turn the tide. Pimblett's striking has improved, but he'll need to avoid standing and trading with Chandler, whose power is a level above anything he's faced. The key for Pimblett will be to mix up his attacks, using feints and movement to keep Chandler guessing before looking for takedowns or scrambles. The mental game adds another layer. Chandler's experience against top-tier opponents gives him a psychological edge. He's been in high-stakes fights and knows how to handle the pressure. Pimblett, while confident, is stepping into uncharted territory against a seasoned veteran. Yet, Pimblett's carefree attitude and belief in his destiny could make him impervious to the moment's weight. "I'm not here to overthink it," Pimblett said. "I'm here to fight, have fun, and win." The lightweight division, a stacked battleground. The lightweight division is the UFC's most electrifying, with a roster that includes Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, and rising stars like Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. Chandler and Pimblett are both vying to stay relevant in this Shark Tank. A win for Chandler could set up a rematch with Oliveira or a clash with Gaethje, while Pimblett's victory might earn him a shot at a top 5 opponent. The division's depth means every fight is a proving ground, and UFC 314's co-main event is no exception. Why this fight matters. What makes Chandler versus Pimblett so compelling is the stakes. For Chandler, it's a chance to defy Father Time and reassert his dominance. For Pimblett, it's an opportunity to leap from prospect to contender. Both men are fan favorites, known for their heart, charisma, and willingness to leave it all in the cage. Their mutual respect. Chandler called Pimblett a great guy, while Pimblett praised Chandler's legacy, adds a layer of sportsmanship. But make no mistake, once the cage door closes, it's all business. Fans are buzzing with anticipation, and for good reason. Chandler's knockout power and relentless pace meet Pimblett's slick submissions and unpredictable flair. The fight could end in a blink, a Chandler uppercut or a Pimblett guillotine, or go the full 25 minutes, testing both men's endurance and will. Regardless of the outcome, this clash will shape the lightweight division's future and add another chapter to the UFC's storied history. Prediction: a fight for the ages. Predicting the outcome is no easy task. Chandler's experience and power make him a live threat, especially early in the fight. If he can land clean shots or impose his wrestling, he could secure a stoppage. However, Pimblett's youth, resilience, and grappling prowess give him a path to victory, particularly if the fight goes deep. The X factor is Pimblett's ability to stay composed against a veteran who thrives on chaos. In the end, this fight feels like a coin toss, but the edge may lie with Pimblett's momentum and versatility. Expect a wild, back-and-forth battle that ends with Pimblett locking in a submission in the third round, announcing his arrival among the lightweight elite. Yet, no one should count out Chandler. His heart and power could easily turn the tide. As the Octagon awaits, one thing is certain. On April 12, 2025, Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett will deliver a fight that MMA fans will talk about for years to come. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride.